Snake Man here, and it is the 22nd of the month, January 2012. Get a long story short, we've had everything this weekend: trademark bootleggers for a change, and a snake. This is it. Caught this in a suburban house in Burwood in Melbourne. Queensland black-headed python, my guesstimation, 5-year-old, give or take a year. It's Queensland, you can tell by the parietal scales on the head. That's its origin. May well be captured, bored and so on. Lovely snake, doesn't seem to bite, huffed and puffed a bit when I caught it. Normal for a black-headed python. Caught this in a house in East Burwood in Melbourne. The people had seen us, the kids had seen us at reptile shows at schools. I went to their school, Hunting Tower, regular there, been going there for the last decade. We give the kids their hands-on reptile shows. Snake like this turned up in the yard, the kids did the right thing. Who are you going to call? Snake Busters. So they googled me on the internet, and lo and behold, there was a Google ad right up the top of the page. 24-hour snake removal. So they rang the number. It was not Snake Busters. The number was of a trademark bootlegger, a corrupt ex-Victorian police officer by the name of Alex Kistic, running his business. He calls it Wild Pro, but of course he was using our trademark and our reputation because we have the best reputation in the business. So they rang the number. Saturday morning early. He didn't want to get out of bed, so he didn't answer the phone. They then went past the Snake Busters website because they thought it was one and the same. And they went to the next website, reptileinformation.com.au, which fortuitously had my phone number. They rang me, I went and caught the snake. So there we have it, a trademark bootlegger ripping off our clients. Because he didn't want to get out of bed, we still got the call. So of course, I'm the only man in Melbourne, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, reptile removals. We catch this snake, a black-headed python. Beautiful snake, worth over $1,000 retail. Wholesale, you might get a smidgen cheap if you like it. We have to hand this in to the Department of Sustainability and Environment by law. They will then give it to one of our competitors, a man by the name of Michael Alexander, former employee of Zoos Victoria. He will then be allowed to keep the snake and use it for wildlife shows and displays. Basically, a free gift from the Department of Sustainability over my blood, sweat and tears getting out of bed at the crack of dawn to rescue some people from a snake. If that is not corrupt, if that is not a breach of competitive neutrality laws, nothing is. The scandal, of course, is the snake may end up going to Zoos Victoria itself, in which case it will probably die a slow death from neglect of mite infestation. Parasitic mites are endemic at Melbourne Zoo. They've been there for 3 decades. We have pictures from the 1980s in my book, Australian Reptiles and Frogs, of a mite-infested death adder. We have another picture of another mite-infested death adder at Zoos Victoria, taken as recently as February last year. Scandalous, I know. They have a veterinary surgeon by the name of Helen McCracken will go to court and perjure herself, tell her how great Melbourne Zoo is, and they cannot even control parasitic mites at the zoo. Absolute tragedy that this magnificent snake here, non-venomous, magnificent snake, would be great for educational programs. Now, I don't seek to make a claim to it in any way, shape or form. The law is I have to hand it in, that's fine. But it is a scandal that this particular snake will end up almost certainly being used by one of our competitors, a former zoo employee who will receive a snake for free, or alternately one of his friends who will get it for either free or an absolute pittance like $2, which is next to the same thing, or worse yet, go to Zoos Victoria, our competitor, who will never get out of bed at the crack of dawn on a Saturday to rescue someone from a venomous or non-venomous snake, and who will, by virtue of their government position, by virtue of the fact that the regulator is also the competitor, will in fact end up with a free snake. That is the scandal of the black-headed python this week, and then of course I'm meant to be happy about it. This is the Snake Man speaking.